All right, so welcome back. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about the breaks of the highs and lows with volume to interpret is there value and momentum. Okay? Now, because you guys are, coming from the mastering price section and the four-course bundle, you obviously have an idea of gauging momentum, right? Mr. Rubber Band Man, right? So if you have an idea of the Rubber Band Man, notice we always say after a few runs, depending on his pullback, a few runs, depending on his pullback, few runs, depending on his pullback, we want to start to understand when is he getting tired and stuff like that, right? Now, over here, doesn't it look like he's never getting tired? Okay, or when it seems like, oh yeah, maybe he's getting tired here. Maybe it's it. He's finished. It's over. How do we know? How do we know? So, let's get into this a little bit here. Let's get into this. So in the previous video, we talked about ranges and how the ranges pop, basically, or break with an increase in volume. Now, there's also something that we need to consider is highs and lows of the day or multiple days. Okay, it doesn't have to be just one single day, highs and lows of multiple days. Why? Because there is a level of support and resistance that is psychologically built for, hey, what happened yesterday to the market? Okay, what's it doing today? Oh, he's breaking the high of yesterday. Looks like the markets are going to proceed. Hey, it's breaking the high of yesterday, but the whole world is not accelerating on it. I don't want to buy it. Okay? And these are the clues that the volumes can give you. These are the clues that the volumes can give you. That will tell you if any kind of buy idea or notion that you have is supposed to be valid or not. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. So now, in this particular case, okay, let me get the marker out. We see on this particular day here, that is one full day there. That means the lowest point is here and the highest point is there. Okay, and into the next day, they break the high here. And when they break the high here, they break it with an increase in volume. Okay, notice I'm not circling one candle or one volume bar. I'm circling a collective. Okay, I'm circling a collective because I want to see increased activity. Okay, many times as the markets are moving away, like for example, this is your break that happens, whether it's from a range or from a high or low, it can start off a little bit, and then as it goes up more, then it gets more intense, and then it starts to slow down. Okay, as it gets higher and higher and higher, then it starts to slow down. And that's okay. And that's okay. That's normal. That's normal. Because they're not gunning it at expensive prices. They like to gun it more at the break, right? That's when people really start getting involved, and all the people who are stopped out, their buys come in. All the people who see higher lows, their buys come in. Basically, the whole world just starts dumping in and jumping in on the buys. You know, the professional world, if I want to put it that way. Okay, they're looking to buy it, and the professional world who know what the market is trying to do, they don't get in with $10. Okay, you probably know that by now. You know, the market is very, very big, and it's run by basically oligarchs, right? They're run by massive, massive people with, not in size, but I mean with deep pockets and deep connections. Okay, so when they're interested in getting in, they get in big, and it shows up on the volume as a number of transactions get consumed through broker to broker to broker. It's just being evaporated all across the board. Okay, because there's such a big order coming in that they're looking to fill. All right, so now let's take a look at this one. So this one had a increase in volume. That tells you your buys are looking to sustain. Your buys are looking to sustain. So any buys that you're considering to do has a higher chance of surviving. Okay? Just that little piece of information is worth millions. Okay? I kid you not. It sounds so simple, but just that little piece of sentence I just said, just knowing if the big boy is interested in that buy is worth millions. Okay, it's never about a pattern, because a pattern will never tell you if they're interested or not. Okay, and we're gonna develop. This is just week 2. Don't think, oh yeah, I got the answer. No. This is just week 2. I'm gonna dig a hole in your brain and fill it up with information. Okay, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Every step of the way is gonna get better and better and better. You'll feel a lot more control over your trading by the end of this course. Okay. All right. Now, as the markets go higher and higher, then the next day kicks in. So this is now one day here. So in that one day, let me just clean it up a little bit. Maybe I'll do it like this so you can see it easier. Boom, that is one day there. And that is the other part of the day right there. Okay, let me maybe make it wider in case you have some problem seeing it. Okay, there we go. Now, this is now the low of that day, and then this is now the high of that day. Okay, very pokey, right? Very high of that day. Now, same thing here. The next day, we are able to break those highs. Okay, we're able to break those high on increase in volume. On increase in volume. Again, it doesn't have to be a stair step, like it doesn't have to be exactly like this. He can be boom, big, medium, small, big, medium. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. All we need is it needs to be more than it was before. That's what we need. It needs to be more than it was before. Okay, so I'm not looking for a particular design. I just want to see somebody there. Okay, so I don't want you to get very, very technical with this and be like, yeah, but Naveen, what if my candle is 3 centimeters 0.4 and then the next volume bar is 4.2 centimeters? Does that mean, Trump is buying as well? Like, no, take it easy. Take it down a notch. Don't get so excited with so much specifics like that. Okay? All we need is it, as long as it's more than prior, that's a good sign. Okay? Okay, and also make sure it is quite high above your average. Okay? Okay, as long as it's above your average, that means that's good. That means they're interested in this. This also means they're sustaining the buys. They're interested in the buys. Okay, let's take a look at the next day now. We have the high of from this day to this day. Here we go. Again, here's the lows of that day. Here's the high of that day. Now again, we have what looks like a attempt to break above. Let me just scroll them out the chart a little bit. And we do have a break above these highs. Okay. These break above these highs also increase in volume. Okay, you can actually see the breaks are happening in these areas. Okay, so initial move on this candle, well, let me just put it this way. On this candle, which is an increase there already. And you can also see, if you're looking at it in terms of a range, all that little ranginess also got broken out. So it's doing multiple things. It's breaking a congestion with increased volume, but it's also trying to break the high of yesterday with increased volume. This is telling you this whole thing is sustaining. Keep going. It's sustaining. Keep going. It's sustaining. Keep going. Now think of the flip side. The flip side. What if you don't have an increase in volume? Okay? That's when you have to take a step back and say, okay, I don't think this is now good for me anymore. Okay, so let's take it further. Now we are looking at this day. Here we go. Boom. And boom. Okay, here we have the low of the day. Here we have the high of the day. Now we weren't able to break the high of that day, but we don't break the low, the next day, basically speaking. We don't break the high of it, nor the low of it from, just immediately looking at it. But we do see a congestion that was running for quite some time. And that congestion is starting to break with higher increasing volume. Now that causes confusion. It's like, wait a minute, the sellers are stepping in and now hitting the markets. So as a person who's looking at this as an uptrend, can I say, oh my goodness, this support and resistance buy, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put all my money on this? No. It means be careful. It means be very, very careful. Because the buyers are not hitting it. In fact, the sellers are hitting it. Okay? This is the first stepping stone of understanding counter trends. Okay? To do counter trends logically. Okay? Again, counter trends, I'm not going to even teach it right now. We're going to take counter trends all the way towards the end, and I'm going to teach it just for the sake so you have it in your library. I don't want you guys to touch it as of right now, because I want you to prove to me you can trade this first with a trend pullback. Because counter trend requires a little bit more research, but like I said, I'm not going to keep it from you. I'm still going to share it with you, but towards the end of what a counter trend looks like and what to do with it. In fact, I'm going to actually put the counter trend into more details into the advanced course, the free advanced course that you have in the elite community, for those of you who are in the elite community. Okay, so you will see more details on that in there. Okay, all right, so now let's proceed to the next video.